Welcome to the HeavyWeight Podcast.
The HeavyWeight Podcast.
HeavyWeight Podcast.
HeavyWeight Podcast. You listen.
We can weigh in on some heavy shit, you know. What's good? This is episode 53 of the Heavyweight Podcast. I am Stutter McFly with these three guys. Go ahead and state your names for these beautiful people.
My name's Gabe Lapel. Get it?
I got it. I am weekday sober. Goddamn.
Slober.
Oh,
Weekday sober.
Slober.
Because apparently I'm only sober when I go to work. Shit.
Apparently not during the podcast either.
And this is Geek 40.
What up, Geek? Happy
What
you
up?
back, man.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
So I normally ask how the week went, but we're gonna just go ahead and go into the recap of Friday, and then we'll ask how your weeks went. How about that? Switch it up a little bit.
How about that? That's my daughter's house all the time. How about that? Shut up.
So this past Friday we had a show in the city of Grand Terrace where
I had a show.
it was the comeback season of Kevin Wendell here. So that was the comeback season. So I want to get you guys' take on his set. I think he did phenomenal.
Let's get his take. How do you feel he did?
how do I feel I did?
Yeah.
I did 1,000 times better than I thought I'd go in my head. It was fun. I felt fun. It was fun. Like, I wasn't too nervous to just kind of roll off the cuff at a certain point because somehow I remembered some jokes, which was cool. And the good thing is, this sounds weird, but when I got off stage, I was like, fuck, I missed that, and I missed that, and I missed that. And I did this way. So that's always room for improvement, which is beautiful.
Hey,
So
man, I thought you did great. And I've seen Kevin Hart on stage with an iPad, nigga, like, and he's like when he's like in his refining stage where he literally checks his like I've seen it at the Empire, like he literally checks his iPad in between every joke. So I mean, if I were you, I would just pick the phone up and say fuck it. But I thought the shit was hilarious. Personally.
well, thank you. I was worried about getting heckled because you told me.
Oh, I told you I was gonna let you have it.
I feel like you going after Rick was like your I got a boss up moment. Like it was like, okay, this motherfucker's, you know.
Nigga, Rick made me feel bad. I said, damn.
Yeah.
Somebody tag him out. Tag him out. Tag him out.
Because the thing is, I feel like, and shout out to him, I feel like he did strong in the beginning, and then towards the tail end, he started going into this weird spiral of anuses and people. He lost everyone.
There was something he told me in the back that I can understand what happened. He said somebody had walked in that he hadn't seen in years, and they've been trying to like contact him, and like the phone was off. The motherfucker kept sending him the voicemail, and he was like, "That motherfucker walked in the middle of my goddamn set."
Damn.
It was like, oh yeah, that
threw his whole shit off. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but
for us who didn't know.
Right.
Like I said, he started strong though. In the beginning,
yeah, he
had the whole room laughing, and then like at the tail end, it kind of got. It was like, okay, he's focusing on the anuses and the X, and everyone kind of like lost interest. But
I will say this, that Kevin, I believe I made your sister-in-law uncomfortable because I kept saying, "Hey, Brett's outside." I can go get Brett.
shout out to Brett as is. One of the funniest men I know in the game.
She told me, she said, no, I'm seeing somebody. I said, but he ain't here, but Brett's here.
Have you ever been to a show like this? She's like, no, never.
He got a lot of attention.
Yeah. She did.
Yeah. So but yeah, Keith, your takes on Kevin's stand up.
Well, I told him before the show. We had a little talk, and I just told him just get up there. It's going to come back to you because I have faith that even after a long break, it would just come back natural. And kind of felt like I was right. So I've been to quite a few. I've been to quite a bit of his shows, and it's hilarious every time. So I had no doubt that he would kill it up there. What?
I feel like
been to those that weren't. I've had those many.
because I kind of feel like you don't really have to try because you're naturally funny.
Yeah, but that shit up there is fucking different, man. It's different up there.
I just thought it's awesome to watch because I saw you before and you looked nervous and you were pacing back and forth and you were in your phone trying to like go over your jokes, and I was just telling you like just do what you do naturally like you do it on the podcast. And it was dope to see that you kind of like just let it fly as opposed to thinking about it. Because I have seen you do sets where you're thinking about it and you're letting the quietness possibly like disturb if the jokes are going off or not. But like I think you did great. Like,
did I count right? Did you have 4 beers before you went on?
Me?
Yeah.
You probably counted the beers, right?
Not the shots.
Not the shots. But I wasn't fucked up. That wasn't fucked up. So you would know. I'd have been like, hush. But I think for me too, before that stuff, like is good that I do all that pacing and fucking going through all of my stuff and just making sure it's right.
Hold on.
give a fuck.
You said pacing and fucking?
Yeah.
Oh, pacing back and forth, he said.
Oh. I said, this nigga got a quickie before you got on stage?
No, but like I said, it shows you gave a fuck, and that's good to have that feeling because that means you want it to go well. So.
Yeah, I told you I'm a purist in the form of the art and like the respect of everything, because everything with Rome, like I know how long he's been doing it and stuff like that. So I was like, "Fool, I can go first, whatever." And he's like, "Nah, I want to get it out of the way." But like to me, I'm like, "Whatever you want to do, you got the tenure in the game, so I'll fall over wherever we got to go and we'll make it work." It just, I don't know, it's just like that. That's just how I operate in that. I try not to disrespect comedy too much, or at all if I can. But
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I saw you kill it, and I enjoyed seeing it. I was proud to see that.
We saw you do a whole goddamn
concert.
This nigga did an album.
I did, yeah. Especially by these standards of these days. That was an album.
I said, is this the McFly version of the live Forest Hill Drive tour? Or is this nigga doing a whole album?
It was exhausting, and the funny thing is, like, as I was doing the songs, it felt like I realized I was like, I got to take more reign and control of shit when it's handed to me because like when JC, shout out to JC, had mentioned me doing a show, I was like, yeah, I'm down to do a show, you know. And then like I realized when they asked me to do a show, I didn't realize they meant nigga take control of the show. Like so in my eyes, I was like, I'm just supposed to like I gave you guys the ideas, and these are the artists that should do it. And just, I'll be ready for showtime. I get there and everyone's going, hey, so what's going on with this? And I'm like, wait a minute, like I'm running what's supposed to be going on too? Like so I'm thinking about trying to like so at times, and I'm sorry for the people that came to the show expecting it to be sooner, going on stage sooner because it was not communicated, but no one communicated with me that I was supposed to be running the show. So like they were coming up to me asking me what's going on, and I'm like, well, nigga, I'm trying to focus on getting my set ready, and you're telling me, hey, so when did we do this? At what time does this go on? And I'm like, but no one told me that this was me steering that ship. So So I apologize for the people who they were like, damn, why doesn't the show? Why? Because people came and they left because they were like, well, damn, like what you're supposed to be on by this time, and I didn't go until way later. So it was like they gave me the reins and was like, so I was like going running outside talking to Brett, like, hey, like DJ saying this, and this, and trying to get everything on, get it going because shit, if it wouldn't, shit, the show might have never happened. Fuck. So, but yeah, so when I got on stage, I was thinking I had a bunch of things going on at once, trying to make sure it went accordingly. So I was exhausted, and I was just trying to get through it because I was like, goddamn, 10 songs in a row. It was supposed to be originally 11. He told me, he's like, 11. I said, no, we're skipping this, and that. Let's get through this. Fuck now. I was like, cut that song short. Let's keep getting to the next one. Like, but it was fun. And but I know for me, a lot of times it's different because I'm a lyricist and not a.
You're not gonna talk about the look, dope ass cornrows, and you was killing them. You was killing them with the fit.
I did get a lot of looks, and shit's like instant, which is funny because nigga, I've been looking bummy for a while, damn near on purpose, because I was growing my hair out. So like to like instantly get that, like you go right to like a store and some, oh my God, your hair is so, and they start having conversations. It's like they're just the same people that look at you like, nigga, get away from me. But it had to do with the hair. They're like, this nappy nigga, and then like they see you with the cornrows, and like I've had compliments from as soon as I got them all the way up until showtime and shit, including yesterday. And it was just, and shout out to Barbarette Jess, who's based out of Santa Ana and Moval. If you're looking for somebody who's professional, Barbarette.
Let's play on words. Huh?
Jess, yeah, Barbarette, yeah.
I see.
But she's dope at the cornrows, and I didn't even know she was braiding my hair, and she did this shit professionally. She was on time. It was no BS. It was actually very affordable. So if you're looking for someone that does hair well, and then shout out to my barber, Zig, based out of Marietta. He's responsible for the lineup and all that. But like the combination, nigga, is lethal. It's expensive for me, but lethal.
You got it, boss.
Mo, lethal. I got it for the moment.
You got it.
Ain't gonna be an everyday thing. So.
You got it, nigga. I know.
But it was a dope show. I was really blessed to be able to be around all you guys. Mo got fucked up as shit, and it was pissing me off because this nigga requested certain songs, and he was so fucked up. He was leaning on the table, so I was like, "Nigga, come to the front since you." And you was leaning on the table. I said, "This nigga's gone."
Stand up.
And he was really gone. I was like, "God damn!" Like, because I was like, come on. He was like, talk your shit. And he just leaned up against the table. I said, he is not moving. He's not going to move. And then he was like, man, she fucking gave me fucking 2 LA Waters. It was fucking strong. I said, shit, I guess. But
I read 3 back.
Yo,
to
can we talk about that? Like, I got a Jack and Coke, and I swear to God, it was 98% Jack. To the point she had to pour more. She poured so much that she had to pour some back in the bottle.
Yo, let me tell you, Keith. When I was talking to her after the show, she was like, y'all might, because the bartender was my wife's old coworker. She was like, oh, that's my girl, so I hooked y'all up. I said, yeah, you really hooked us up because I was.
She really
that shit was all alcohol. I said, damn.
It didn't take much. I couldn't just take a shot of.
I said, yeah. I said, everybody says them drinks they were strong. Like we got the money's worth.
Yeah, that shit was interesting.
I left with a good tip. That's how I knew I was drunk.
Yeah. But yeah, shout out to the venue in Grand Terrace. Shout out to DJ 33. Special shout out to Brett, as is. Like, I've known that dude for a good minute, and like he be doing tours and shit, but he'll literally break off to what he's doing and come in and host the show for me because off of love, not money based or nothing, off of love. And he gets paid to do this shit. So for him to break off and host something like that, and like we were he was talking to me. That's how I knew. I was like, I realized at that point, because he was like, well, how's this going? And I was like, oh shit, like I'm the guy supposed to be steering this ship, and no one informed me that was my role. But we worked with each other, and he was doing like his set in between bringing up the artist, and that shit flowed natural. He's a professional. I rock with him.
Yo, that abortion joke had me. I was laughing in my gut.
Oh,
Yeah.
I gotta. Your wife gave me side eye, Kevin, but I said that shit funny. I don't care. Shit is funny.
Brett, that like he said, he just leaves it out there. You take it out, you leave it, or take it or leave it. Fuck it, that's him. And shout out to Diesel 5001. We were on a label with each other. I used to pick that man's brain all the time, and just to be able to do a show with him again after like a long time, because we, for a while we didn't see eye to eye and we weren't on talking terms. So to be able to come full circle as grown men and be able to squash that and show love, and I was on his show, he's on my show, and to show that love, and we made sure that like we had like everything as far as equipment wise on point. Shit. Do we have anything else you want to say about it?
No. Let's get into it.
That was, in a nutshell, okay. So yeah, dope show. There'll be more to come. Kevin's still gonna do stand up no matter what he tells anyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into it. And actually, since we're on it, this is part of that show, because I'm gonna ask this question to Kevin Wendell.
Oh.
Nigga, why are you trying to make it seem like you're retiring from comedy? That's not happening.
I said that.
You made it seem like you didn't plan on doing any more shows. And that I had to like coerce you into this shit. Nah, nigga, you're doing more shows.
It's
Just
funny you
let
say
you know.
that because the Ontario Improv has a couple of open mic nights next month.
I know all those niggas who fucking run that shit.
I'm just letting you know, because you tried to make it seem as if like, oh, I coerced you into just doing this, but you had no intention of. I said, nah, nigga, you're doing shows.
I wasn't going to do it. I was just like, damn, this nigga already booked me. I feels like.
So you're going to do short shows. Like, it's not but
He said you
I guess this is for the grand scheme of it all. This is a question that I brought to the forefront for the whole. But Kevin's the inspiration behind this question. The love that you have for your passions. How much time do you devote to it? And have you given up on it? Or do you continue to pursue it going forward in your life as you get older? All of you.
Can I
I'm asking.
answer from my perspective with how I was looking at comedy, the whole thing?
Yeah.
So for me, I wasn't not gonna not do comedy again ever. That's never been in my mind.
But I'm talking about the show, because you made it seem as if that show was like, I was like, nah, nigga.
You know how my week went? My whole week was pacing.
I get that. And you kept hitting me up saying that you were nervous, you're excited, you're nervous. But like, you made it seem as if that, like, nigga, like, you're doing shows. Like, it's not I don't care if I have to just like trick you, like, hey man, come and hang out with me, and be like, hey nigga, this looks like a mic stand. Is this a mic stand? Yeah, you're doing a stand-up set right now.
I don't know. Something got in me with the fear of getting back up there, I guess. I think it was more of a fear thing. I don't know what it was of. Maybe it was of not being able to do it at a good level, you know what I mean? So I think that deterred me a lot. Because I still write. Like that's wild if I don't go on stage, but I still write. Like I have a whole shit ton of jokes that I should try out. But I think that's what got me away from it a lot too, and just trying to focus on getting my shit right at home, like so I have a solid foundation for the family. And then I don't know. It's probably mostly fear, to be honest. But I don't intend on ever stopping the pursuit.
So when's the next show?
Huh?
When's the next show?
I don't know the next show.
Are you looking? Are you looking?
Open mic.
Are you
Open
looking?
mic.
Like, is it like in the next month? Maybe 2 weeks? Fuck it. How about tomorrow?
Again, I say the Improv in Ontario has a couple open mic nights next month in the month of August.
The end of the month, yeah.
But I just know we're gonna hold you accountable, and nigga, you're gonna be doing stand up still, because you're dope. Moving on to Mo. You're an ultimate DIYer. I know you.
A lot of my passions have been shelf, and I've been
nigga.
mainly in hustleman family mode.
Speaking of hustle family mode, show the people your tattoo.
That shit hurt.
Show people your tattoo. You went through the pain. Show it.
You can't really see it. Like I
Just
don't know,
to look at the.
you know,
Come on, man.
Something light, something light.
just a little something, something. Shout out to Rich and Roots Tattoo in Beaumont. He did his damn thing.
And what it says on there, I think, is the dopest thing is it's a phoenix.
Yeah, and it's
but it spells rain. That's so dope to me.
So you guys don't know my daughter's name is Phoenix, and her middle name is Rain. So I got a tattoo of a phoenix, and then the wings of the phoenix spell her middle name.
That shit's dope. That's fire. How long did it take?
6 hours.
6 hours?
6 hours.
Did he still keep the original price, or did he charge you more?
He charged me for 4 hours. That's what I'm saying. Shout out to Rick.
God damn.
Shout out to Rick. Because it took 6 hours. It came out real good though, and it didn't hurt as bad as I thought it would. Like, what I learned is when they got close to the veins and the nerves, you felt it. Ooh shit! But it wasn't bad. Overall, it wasn't bad. Also, I got through like 5 episodes of Stranger Things. So I'm almost caught up. I'm almost to season 4. So it was a good time.
So
I had nothing to go.
Back to the DIY stuff.
I just haven't had time. With the amount of time I've been working, and then the energy I put into the pod, and then I have to sacrifice something. So I sacrifice personal time for dreams, goals, and family.
You'll get back there, but there's one thing you forgot to mention. You gotta flex real quick. What happened on Friday? What happened on Friday? Before you came to the show, what happened on Friday?
Oh yeah, so my Miss Rain, she got promoted in gymnastics. She's on the team.
Yes.
And I'm very, very excited. I'm very, very happy. I'm just mad at these bills. I said I'm gonna have to work more because let me tell y'all something. Competition team gymnastics is not cheap.
No, never is. They want you to be invested.
And my wife has already decided that she's about to go buy 1,000 leotards.
You know what?
Because she has to have a different one for every practice.
What is the single bar? Build a whole gymnastics set in the backyard. There you go. DIY, dog.
I just put grass down.
I'm just gonna throw it out there because
I'm not gonna take the grass out.
I have a big backyard with nothing in it. You can, if you want to use it, to just do random flipping events or whatever, or just I don't mind. If you just needed the space, it's free.
The gym she goes 3 days a week now. It's pretty big. She can do it there.
Is it free?
The gym? Oh no, it's not free. We pay for that hour she's there. We're paying for that. Okay. So she can. Yeah, we're paying for that.
For sure.
But shout out to her. She made proud.
Yeah, that's what's up. So since you're saying time, I respect that. But just know, here at the Heavyweight Podcast, we hold people accountable. So nigga, any passion you have, gonna happen. I'm gonna push it. So moving on to Keith, Geek 40, who wasn't here last week. So I'm gonna make sure that you get this off,
nigga.
So you draw. We know that. We know you're skilled drawing. We know you're doing the writing as well. Dungeons and Dragons.
I spike thee with my mighty sword.
I want to know how much time is being invested. What do we get to look forward to?
In terms of art,
all of it.
0. I have not picked up a pen in a year, maybe more.
Sound like the president.
Yeah.
In terms of podcast graphics, you can use us as a starting point just to see how you get your feet wet.
You can draw me with my mighty sword.
That I'm not gonna do. But in terms of the writing and planning and stuff, I mean, I try to put at least an hour or two into like the writing and planning. It's been kind of hard because my depression's been hitting pretty hard here lately, and then now I'm working again, so I gotta adjust to that. So I haven't even started for next week's game, so I gotta buckle down, and I'll probably do like an hour or two, maybe three, probably after the pod, and then probably do another after work tomorrow, and then Tuesday's the game. So I don't know if I'm gonna be actually doing anything Tuesday. I might just come home and take a nap before I have to run shit. So
Well, I told you she's dead serious on starting, Keith. My wife, like she thinks she wants to be about that life. I said, you know
oh
what?
yeah, I forgot to tell her I'm gonna need a detailed report after she plays her first game of how she felt, and
it's gonna be terrible.
I told you you need to play too.
I'm gonna ruin it for her purposely.
I mean,
I'm spiting
that's
everything with my
experience.
sword.
That's experience.
They're like, we over here fighting. Oh well, me and the princess. We over here. We got priorities.
I mean, that's one way to play. But I mean, it's I do at some point when I can find the time and get out of my own head. I do want to start taking some improv classes. Just so
I want to do something
Those
too.
are fun. You ever been to one?
so me no.
Yeah. Can I tell you the
Just
first rule of improv?
Never say
what?
no.
Basically, it's yes and.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because I not only do I want to get better as like a player in games, I also want to get better as like just an overall storyteller in games. So because at some point I want to start running games outside of my current group.
I know that.
So and maybe at some point get paid to do it. We'll see.
That's the goal.
Maybe.
That is
There's
the
a
goal.
fee for that?
Maybe.
What?
That's the goal.
The
Yeah, you
check
can
is
get
always
paid.
the goal.
Yeah.
Like I would be a drunken man today. You told me to check on it.
So there's a shit ton of people that want to play. There's a very small number that's willing to run a game.
Can I charge for these games? I will be on Twitch tonight.
Yeah. So finding a like professional dungeon master, yeah, that's what most groups do. Because the thing about it is, the caveat is when you do it for free, all types of stuff, you can come up with all excuses why you're not going to run the game or whatever. Or people won't show up, or they won't take it seriously. But once they start having to give up money, they're gonna start showing up to games. They're gonna start taking it a little more. Like it's supposed to be fun, but I mean, it's a group effort. So if people are not showing up and stuff like that, that kind of ruins it for everybody. So when money gets involved, you take it a little more seriously.
Pay me and not show up. Oh, so and so died.
Basically,
during the intermission. As we continue,
they died off screen. It's sad to see, but
as we continue.
So yeah, that's eventually that's where I want to get to. So yeah, it's just gonna be me continuing to try to grow as a dungeon master. At some point, it's probably going to start. Usually, what ends up happening is those that run games they hardly play as players. So I have a feeling that's going to end up happening to me. So that's another reason why I want to get better. I just want to be a better storyteller. That's essentially what it comes down to.
Hey, the best storytellers are the best cheaters.
Wow. Wow. That we just okay. So again, geek.
Kevin agreed. That's why he didn't laugh. That's why he laughed, because he agreed. He just want to. He
Invest.
don't want to second it.
We will be investing heavily. Let us know when the next one happens, and you might get us to tune in and actually start doing what we did last time, using this shit and applying it to the podcast to keep it going. Yeah.
My mighty sword.
Anyway,
so I do just one more thing. I do plan on. There's some new content that's coming out that I do plan on starting running a new game that I probably will stream. I just got to get my ducats up so I can actually buy the shit that I need to run it.
That's what's up. And we will be pushing heavily. I think this is awesome to rock with you guys. So as we continue on, we're gonna go into that first or the next topic. This was brought up to us by that funny ass comedian Kevin Wendell. It's called the topic is preserving through the pitfalls in life. How was it done? How you felt in the moment and how you felt after you got through it, and how to duplicate it. Do you want to elaborate further?
I'm just saying, like, how you get through tough times, or even like, I don't want to say that's a pitfall, like the stopping of doing something you enjoy doing, or hard times, more or less, I was talking about. And like in that struggle, what you do to get through it, and like how you felt. Like, say, like, I guess a thing for me was like buying this house was a lot going on. I shed some tears trying to get my shit right to buy the house because it kept looking like I wasn't going to get it. I was like, fuck, we ain't going to get this. I just blew it for my whole goddamn family. And like in that moment, it just felt like I was the smallest thing in the world, but I got through it and did what I had to do, like to get everything right and be able to actually purchase it. And afterwards, I can't even describe that feeling. So it's like I kind of learned from that. Like no matter how bad that looks, I still can fight and dig and figure out something. There's always some sort of way. So I try to apply that to everything that I do now because it's like shit can get bad, and you're like, well, there was a point at this point where shit it could have been bad for all of us, and I don't know. It's just a great feeling to get through that type of stuff. I don't know, like if you guys got any stories on like shit you persevered through and like have you had used that? You know what I mean?
You triggered me in that moment because I had that same feeling when I got my house. Like those moments where you're like, shit, like this certain thing might be a reason why it doesn't happen, and you're like, fuck, and you're stressing over it, and then you finally those things work themselves out, or you're able to get the things you need to, in order to make that happen or get past that. But yeah, when you said that, I remember that instantly.
Yeah,
that shit
was no joke.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, Mo?
I just think for me, the biggest thing for me is that I'm heavy on the provider mentality, right? And like I pride myself on being a provider for my family, and then like just recently, I went through, similar to Geek, I went through a very, very depressing week. Like, just couldn't shake it. Like, didn't want to be, I didn't want to be part of the world. Like, I just wanted to be left alone, type shit. And then eventually, like, what I'm saying, like I say all the time, I had realized, hey, nigga, like you got responsibilities. You got to get up and do something. Like you know, at least give me the bare minimum, because then at least with the bare minimum we can grow off that. So I think it's just for me, it's just a lot of times the pressure just I think we all feel it the same too. A lot of times the pressure just gets heavy, and you just sink. You're not always you can't always swim. Sometimes the pressure gets heavy, you get tired, you're gonna sink. So um, I think with that, I have to just take a couple days just to realign my mental, kind of cleanse, um, and then just kind of like, to me, like isolation does wonders for me sometimes. Like it could be helpful or it could be, but then there's also like a point where it becomes hurtful. because like okay, I can sit there in isolation and figure some things out, and then kind of work through it, or but if my mind's not right, I can be in isolation and it just makes everything worse. So I think what I personally do is like I have to start taking um, the small victories. Like I gotta think about okay, yeah, things are kind of messed up right now, but this one good. So we're gonna take this and then we're gonna build off this, and then so I think that's what I do. I try to shift my mental around and try to find the positive, even though I'm probably one of the most pessimistic people you'll know. Fine, I try to find the positive and I just try to roll with it. Like just do the bare minimum, and like I always say, just get them start walking. Sometimes you just gotta walk. Take a step.
Are you pessimistic to yourself? Because I don't find you pessimistic when.
I'm very pessimistic in general. I just hide it.
Uh,
I don't think that you're pessimistic. I think certain things you're so a realist about so many things that it can come off as pessimistic, but you're not pessimistic. You're just a realist.
I'm
So
just
so
saying.
much to the fact that you'll kind of like be like fuck it, and you're like God damn.
Well, because I just learned to accept like the I know years ago the one thing that really helped me out is I finally accept the fact that I can't control everything. So I'm gonna do what I can control, and everything else, fuck it. Like I can't do nothing about it. I can't control how someone perceives me, or I can't control what someone thinks about me. I know what's real, and how you feel about me is how you feel. Or like I can do everything right, and someone can say no, that ain't how it's gonna happen. So I can't control it. So I just be like okay, but that me not having trust in people, that's why I probably sound pessimist. Like I can know I know how things should go, but I don't trust people to know that they'll go according to plan. So like I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop, and I got a
I
plan.
can
I got a plan for the failure, and I got a backup plan to the plan.
I can respect that. I can see that. But like I said, I don't think you're a pessimist. I think you're just a realist, like a pure realist to the point that when you think about it, you're like, fuck, like, and it becomes like that spiral effect. But you're not a pessimist though, man. Like you're a very strong person, dude. And you're a
that's why I was
positive
asking.
person. So,
Don't come off as pessimistic to me.
um,
I am asshole.
Geek, your
Mm.
takes?
Ooh. I am still currently working through finding that light at the end of the tunnel, I guess you can say. Um,
Hmm?
can't really think of like a significant situation where I kind of feel like is always in battle. There is no uh, like in terms of what I would describe as like a win. I just have not been there yet. At least not as at least when I consider myself as an adult, and I'm doing air quotes. Um, I don't know. It just always feels like it's just an ongoing battle where I have small victories, but those small victories always seem to get uh, shorter in length between being tested again.
Do
So
you do comparisons to other people when you say like adulting? Are you comparing that to like your peers, or are you just saying like for you?
a little of both. I'm not gonna lie and say I'm not influenced by others, but that's not like I'm not gonna. It's one of those negative influences I've gotten from my father because he does it quite often. He will tell me how so and so's son or daughter or whatnot is doing this, or they got this job, or they're making this amount of money, or they got one or two houses, or they got a brand new car, or this and that. So even when I'm trying to focus on me, there's other factors that are always like putting that added pressure that I'm not doing enough.
But the
I'm
one
gonna
thing,
about the.
the one
I'm gonna
thing
alley
is
oop it
that
to you.
you can't you can't always compare yourself to others because you don't know what they went through to get there, man.
And you tell me that all the time. I was gonna say that. I said Mo tells me that all the time. So I
Like
was.
you don't know what their journey is, man. Like you, some people, you might see a person with 2 houses, cars, and he's going through hell every day, and he would gladly give up all this to be where you are. Like, so that's why,
So
like,
I'm not beating myself up like, oh, I'm not like them. It's just the constant reminder that I'm not where certain people think I should be, and then on top of
fuck,
that, I'm
fuck what
telling
people think.
myself that I'm not where I thought I would be
Here's the thing
by this
is
point.
that here's the thing is
Nigga, if
right. Like
you thought
my
you
wife
were, I
always
thought I was
says,
gonna be.
my wife always says I agree. She always says you're exactly where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Now, what you do with that position is on you. Either you can regress or you can move forward. But you're not going to regress if you keep but you're not going to move forward if you keep looking and compare your life to people around you. Because like I said before, you don't know what they're going through to maintain that life. Like I had to give blood on Friday. And there was an old guy in there. He was like, "Man, I could have died last night. I'm just happy I'm able to come in here." And it's like he wasn't an old man. He didn't have a bunch of money, and he was literally just happy for the breath he was taking. It's all about perspective in life. Like, so you can't look out like, because there's always going to be somebody with more money. There's always going to be somebody with better health. Always going to be somebody with a nicer car. But then on the flip side of that, there's always going to be somebody like, man, I wish I could be where that guy's at. You
Yeah.
gotta take where you are and understand that, hey, I'm here because this is where I have been placed due to my mental state or whatever the case be. Now I need to take the steps to get to where I'm trying to be. That's it.
Yeah.
The goal in
I think
life,
you let.
the goal in life is just not to regress. That's the
I
goal.
think you gotta try to
Dude,
get your pops out of your head the way he's saying that, because it's just something to push you. Like he knows what he's doing. He's pushing your buttons, and you gotta know that.
Uh, uh,
Look here, man.
people say that, but uh, my dad has this face that he puts on for others, and then a completely face for family. So unless you get a glimpse of that face that he gives the family, like statements like that are gonna always be made. Like, oh, he's doing it to push it, but
No, I'm not saying to push you. I'm saying
But
to push your
at,
buttons.
at the end of the
oh yeah,
day, no one can be mad at you for cutting out people in your life that do nothing but damage you. If it's just a person that just triggered, I don't talk to. I can count on my hand how many non-brothers and sisters I talk to in my family. On this hand, like, bro, you have to protect your mental
Yeah.
because your mental state is the most valuable thing in your possession. Because with the right mindset, you can be whatever the fuck you want to be. So that is what's the most precious thing. And anybody who is not helping you develop a better mental, you got to cut them off. And you'll find peace in that. It may be hard at first. You're like, man, I really love this person. But if that love's not being reciprocated in the way that you need to receive love, it's not doing you any good. And that's the same thing like with relationship and marriage. I can't You have to tell your partner or your wife, whoever, how you receive love, because how I receive love may be different from how Stutter receives love, may be different from how Kevin receives love. What's important to me may not be important to Stutter, but it may be, So everyone is different. So you have to. That's why this thing called life. That's why it's an individual race because it's different for every single person. But it's one thing that's the same for everyone. Anyone who's not good for your mental needs to be shut off. Period. Because you're not going to get to a good space if you constantly have somebody putting doubt in your mind. You are the company you keep. So if you're going to keep letting people doubt you, you're going to doubt yourself.
Yeah.
That's just facts, bro. That's facts. And the fucked up thing, especially in the black community, is that most of our worst enemies, we have blood ties to.
Yeah.
A random person on the street will help you more than a person who sat with you for 25 Christmases.
Yeah.
This is true.
So you have to be able, like, it's not a bad thing. Like, they might say, oh, you think you're better than us? No, I don't think I'm better. But I'm protecting my peace. And if that means I don't call you, I don't see you, I don't deal with you, I can live with that because I'm in a better place mentally. That's what it's about. You have to put yourself in a better place mentally so that you can level up. You're not going to level up if you're constantly in self-doubt, self-loathing. And that's probably why you deal with depression a lot. A lot, like, I know for a fact, a lot of my depression is me being hard on me. And then I have to get out of that because no one's influencing my mind but me because I get in my mind. Like, instead of tell you, my mind's always like, so it's me being hard on me. So I can't go out and blame anybody else because I've already cut everybody else out. No one really knows what I'm going through unless I tell them. And that's even to the far extent of my wife. Like, she even has a limited amount of what I'm thinking on a daily basis. So you have to understand that your mental and your mental health is the most important thing you have. Because if you let someone continually deteriorate your mental state, you're not going to get out of the funk. They're going to keep you right there in that position. And that's a form of manipulation, and he's keeping you down. Whether you want to say it or not, that's facts. He's keeping you down by chipping away at your self-esteem, by chipping away at your mental stability. He's keeping you down. Whether he's your father or whether he's your cousin, your uncle, whatever, anybody, they don't mean no good for you. Because anybody who wants to be good for you or wants to help you wouldn't do that. That's just facts.
Yeah.
I don't think I could have said that any better. That's just all. It's a tough one, though. It's a tough one. I get it.
Yeah. So,
But yeah,
that being,
the point is,
yeah.
I'm still trying to work through it. Let's try to figure it out.
You'll get there. Just it takes time and learning to not allow those certain influences in your decision making as you move forward. Like I had a hard time coming across dealing with that as well, but it's just you can't let those outside things affect you, especially if they're not positive. If they're coming in and they're negative things or they're meant to be with a negative tint. Like I've said it in raps with me and my dad, where he's had instances where he's tried to hurt me, where his statements were meant to do were meant to hurt, and they weren't meant to be positive. And I had to be able to differentiate those people's places in my life and be able to break free of them. I barely keep in touch with anybody in my family, so yeah. And I consider my friends my family. So like I said, there's been so many instances where I've talked to Maurice about a lot of shit, and he'll literally say, like he just told you, fuck them. If they're not positive, cut them off. Like it. So it's a important thing to have that realization about it. But like, and as usually you're gonna find that's probably gonna be the root cause of where your depression comes from. So
Because life has enough stress by itself, bro.
yeah.
There's a reason why companies do inventory every quarter. Take every quarter of your life, and then anybody who ain't adding up, sometimes you gotta balance that sheet.
Yeah. So with that being said,
don't remind me of that because I gotta do that shit next month.
Yeah. Take inventory.
Yeah.
All right. With that being said, this has been episode 53 of the Heavyweight Podcast.
Bye, Trey.
I have been your host, Stutter McFly, with these three guys.
I'm Kevin Wendell again. Hey.
The comedian.
Hey.
He's gonna do a show next week.
Oh,
Gonna make a yuck yuck.
it's your boy Rant. You know what I'm saying? It's more lethal. It's just more lethal. Just more lethal.
And this is Geek 40.
And we appreciate your love. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, TikTok, YouTube, etc. iHeart. Again, thank you for the love. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Until next time, episode 53. We out.
Peace.
One.
If you can hear the sound of my voice, you're a real one for sticking to the end. Just want to thank you again for listening and stay tuned for the next episode. 40 out.